Welcome to the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
You see me dead, do you? Well then. Go on.
She's all about that ass. That's slice of life.
Like I love Naruto. I grew up on Naruto. But like, it'll be crazy for me. It's like I just always compared anime to Naruto.
You are now tuned into the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
Not the same.
Bro, that nigga was strong. He just got caught up by that.
Emma is Naruto.
Not the same, bro. Not even close.
I'm afraid he got
even killed him.
Definitely And that's
Get your baby, dude. Get your baby.
You are now tuned in to the Blxxk Anime Podcast.
How I irk you, bro? This is the end of the road. Afro Samurai.
What's good, everybody? I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the Blxxk Anime Podcast. Now we a week off from hiatus, an impromptu hiatus just kind of happened because niggas be busy, so it just be happening from time to time. But we are back and better than ever. And you already got your main man here, Aaron, aka the Lost Homie, aka the Anime Anthology, here with you as always. And you got your boy.
You got your boy Bo, aka the Manga Mogul, aka the man who reads 10,000 things.
And we got some returners on the pod today. This is the first time we've had returners for interviews, but I had to have them back on because they're doing some really interesting things. Especially with them being a team and all that, doing some really cool stuff. But we got our people over from Team God Punch and now Team Blade Titan. Double up right now. Introduce yourselves.
Well, what's down? It's your boy Pat, aka God Punch Pat, aka the Gumbo Goon, aka the Drunken Mangaka, all that good shit. It's always a pleasure to be amongst family.
And yo, what's up? It's Coke Jean, aka Yende Hall, Yin Designs on Twitter, and the illustrator for God Punch and soon be Blade Titans. So, what's up, y'all?
Glad to have y'all on again. It's been too long, and also if y'all gotta watch Yin draw on Twitch. I gotta watch that man draw on Twitch.
I gotta get back on Twitch, honestly, man. I've been on like a break. Yeah.
So magical hands right there, bro.
Shoot, they was moving when we last time. Wait, so you haven't streamed again since the last time I watched you stream?
It's been at least like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We still got to put insurance on your hands, though. Ain't nothing happening.
Have you like one of them MMA fighters? You can't use your hands, dog. You can't. It's illegal, bro. You can't use your feet
anywhere you go.
But we have more to talk about the upcoming God Punch Chapter 3 and Blade Titans Chapter 1. Two things we've been really looking out for. Chapter 3 been cooking for a while now, okay? And I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm waiting for that joint. All right, so we started to come on here and talk to you about that. Also, just want to see what's going on with God Punch, and Blade Titans, what's the future and what's it got to hold, for us as readers and for the creators themselves. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and start out with what's up. See how everybody been doing. See how everybody's week been. And let's start out with a boy Pat. What's good, you Gumbo Goon?
Man, my week actually been pretty cool, bro. It's been a pretty busy week for me, actually, man. My trainer, she been whooping my ass in the gym, man.
She should.
Yeah, I'm trying to get right, bro. Trying to be a baddie. Trying to be walking around this hole with no shirt on next summer. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside for this one. You know what I'm saying? Aside from that, I just got a new job not too long ago. I'm still.
Congrats, bro.
Appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just getting used to the new gig or whatever. And then, checking on the end while he drawing, making sure, he mentally good, making sure, he don't need nothing. Then we got a God Punch documentary coming out too. So, I've been putting a lot of my attention on that while Yende, handling the artwork for Chapter 3 and Blade Titans.
That's dope.
Oh shit, that sounds interesting.
What you been reading and watching lately? Like what manga, what anime you been
If y'all follow my interviews, y'all know I've been on that GOAT piece. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna watch.
Yes,
always
sir.
gonna watch that One Piece. Always, but now aside from One Piece, man, I just caught back up on Jujutsu Kaisen last night. The manga.
Yes, sir. That's good
I
stuff.
had like 9 chapters. So One Piece, JJK. I read My Hero. You know, that dropped today. I'm trying to think what else have I read. I think that's really all I had in my rotation. Oh yeah, Attack on Titan. New Attack on Titan. I peeped that the other day. And aside from that, man, I really haven't had a chance to just watch anything aside from One Piece and JJK. Finna start this Bleach rewatch though, since you know that's coming back next year. That's about it. I haven't really had time to have too much in my rotation lately. Not as much as I like.
You're not on Haikyuu at all.
Bro, I'm gonna get on Haikyuu. Like after I finish my Bleach rewatch, I'm getting on Haikyuu.
Where you a manga guy too, so I suggest you read the manga and watch the anime. But
okay, I was gonna ask you to be either or what?
Either or is do both. Like
right,
yeah.
I heard it got a pretty good dub too.
Aaron likes the dub. I'm not a fan.
That dub is cold, bro. That dub is hilarious. It's peak comedy. It's peak comedy.
For sure. I'm gonna definitely peep, bro. I'm gonna give it a chance, man. Too many people I respect, you know what I'm saying, they like it. So I'm gonna see.
Yeah, bro, it's that heat.
I was about to say, you say you're gonna do that Bleach rewatch. You need to catch up on some of the seasonal stuff, dog.
I'm trying to think what seasonal that's going on right now.
See, you know me. You know I'm the seasonal master. You know what I mean? I'll be on everything. It depends on what you're trying. To get into, dog.
I've been told Mike from Blind and I told him I was gonna start RE0. They've been trying to get me on now.
RE0, yeah. That's necessity.
Yeah.
That's a necessity.
And Yende, he been trying to put. What you been trying to put me on Yende? I don't know. You put me on like 3 different series I need to watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple of things. I watched. Well, I finished Decadence like a while back. Yeah.
Decadence is different. Decadence is different.
I really enjoyed that. That was good.
That was my favorite of last season.
Yeah. My girlfriend kind of fell off of it because it's a little like I don't think it's like easy to get into right off the bat, like in terms of how it explains stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like a ton of action in the first few episodes. So, but it really picked up, and then it just, man, the whole second half of the season was fantastic. I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing, but that second half was fantastic. And then I'm trying to put Pat on Akudama Drive, which I need to catch up on.
Oh yes, you need. Pat, you need to watch that. Pat, you need to watch that. You need to watch that. That's a must. That's a must.
That's the one. That's the one that was on Funimation, right? Andy?
Yeah, Funimation.
It's on Hulu too.
Y'all like Akudama Drive like that?
Yes. Perry showed out.
I watched 2 episodes. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot going on. Maybe I don't know.
It is like they just kind of jump right into it. Honestly,
yeah, you're just like in the mix.
Yeah, but I like they kind of start explaining more stuff as the episodes go on. I think about 3 and 4, they start kind of getting more into like what's really going on, not just like, oh my God, there's all this crazy shit happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because the first episode, that's literally what that was. I was like, look at all this shit that's going on. They didn't really explain nothing. Yeah.
Nah, but I fucking love that though. I like it when they throw you into the action. They just be like, "Hey, yo, figure it out for yourself." Like I love that. That's my low key. Like I like it when it's like I always say, give us the characters, give us something to latch on to first, and then I'll worry about the plot later. We can get to that. But if I fuck with your characters, I fuck with the setting, the vibe, all that. I can be good.
Yeah, that's honestly what kind of like drew me in, was not so much that like, oh my God, there's so much going on, but like they're kind of like setting everything up with the like introducing you to this is the world that they live in, and like this is like all the kind of tiers for the characters and stuff in terms of like the criminal system and all that kind of thing. So I kind of enjoyed the premise, like this is them just showing like this is kind of what you're going to get into, and we'll explain everything later. So it doesn't work for every series, but I think it worked for this one. So
especially since there's so much intrigue that's going on. Like definitely because Swindler, she got some secrets. She got some secrets. There ain't no way, and the way they playing it, it could be like an amazing reveal. Like ain't no way. She just nobody.
Right.
Ain't no way.
And I think that's it for series I was trying to put Patrick on. Well, I told you to watch Noblesse.
Yeah, that's what I keep forgetting to watch too.
Yeah,
I'm usually good with keeping up with the webtoon they got.
I'm catching up on it. I mean, I haven't read the webtoon, but from what I've seen and from what other people have said, it's a good adaptation so far. You just need to watch the.
He says like a episode like 0 or something.
Yeah, there's like a pilot or something that came out 4 years ago that explains everything that happens before the first episode, and it's like integral to watch. Otherwise, you feel like there's a lot missing, I think, in the first episode.
Well, I didn't know you had to watch the first joint.
Yeah. Well, they kind of didn't advertise it when the series first dropped, and then later, like after the first episode or the second episode dropped, they were like, make sure you watch this pilot that came out 4 years ago. And the animation is straight, like it looks the same. It has a different opening, but it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, because I remember when the pilot had dropped 4 years ago, because I remember I tried to start reading it, and I ended up falling off of the whole thing because there was mad chapters, but yeah, I should probably try to pick up the anime then.
It's pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
All right, Ian, what you been up to? How you been doing?
Pretty good. I mean, honestly, well, I just did I'm getting into like doing modeling and stuff. So I just had a fashion show.
Oh yeah, I seen that. You was strutting, dog. You was doing your thing. You was doing your thing, bro. You was doing your thing.
It was. Patrick will tell you because I was explaining it to him. It was a stressful like setup. Because I had to be there at noon, and like 6 hours of just setup, and most of the models, I mean, are women, so they're getting hair and makeup done for like hours. We just sitting there.
No, well, I'm gonna come with you to the next show. I'm about to worry about that.
Pull up the golden brushes. Have the niggas brushing the nigga waves. She's like, yeah.
Oh my god. But it was straight. I enjoyed it. I was like, that was supposed to be like my second show. I was supposed to do a show before that, but like some stuff happened and I didn't get to do it. But for the first show, it really went well. We didn't even get to rehearse because we started late, and like we had some designers show up late, and it was a lot. I had never done it before, so it's a lot of work, a lot more work than I thought it was. But I'm gonna keep doing it. I got a couple of castings to go to this week to see if I'm gonna be in some other shows. So that's what I'm up to on that front. But in terms of art and stuff, of course, working on God Punch Chapter 3, getting close to finishing the sketching phase or the line art. So I should be inking within the next few days, and we're looking at trying to release pretty soon, like in the next couple of weeks. So y'all be on the lookout for that.
We can't wait for it, man. I tell you, like I said in the beginning, y'all like I know I've been getting more into reading lately. Like I fell off the wagon when I got to college somehow of like reading, and I'm getting back into it. But I haven't really been into manga and webtoons. So like God Punch, the first one I've read, and so. And Pat didn't send me some of the crypto files, you know what I'm saying, for the future. And now I'm just waiting for this art. I'm like, damn, like I'm just waiting for the art. I'm trying to see, especially since I'm like, what I read, what's coming next is gonna be crazy. I'm just like, I know you ain't gonna go off on this. So I need it.
Yeah, I'm getting excited to get to that part of the chapter because I'm like, the folks are just not ready for how much happens in this part.
And I actually edited some of those chapters that I sent you too, so you're gonna be in for a little surprise.
Oh yeah. He did. He's sent me some updated versions, so there's a lot.
That's fine with me, man. I love the process, man. You should always be going back and changing and fixing and making it better. You know what I mean?
That boy Pat guy you enslaving.
Boy, I'm telling you, they're gonna come out with a documentary on me in a couple of years, bro. Got your boy working in a sweatshop, man.
That boy getting 15 minutes of sleep.
I don't never want to have him out there like that again, bro. I feel so bad.
I told you I'm never doing what I did for the first chapter again. That was just pure insanity. My sleep schedule was all kinds of messed up after that. Like, I think I slept 4 hours a day for like 3 days straight, and I just like,
oh damn,
yeah, it was not good. It was not. I mean, the
the
grind, like the finished product it was good, but like I slept for probably an entire day almost after I finished the chapter and uploaded it, and I was like, everything good? He was like, yeah, all right, bet I'm going to sleep. Don't nobody bother me for 24 hours.
Y'all seen the anime Bakuman?
I've read it. I have the whole manga collection.
Oh, okay, yeah, y'all sound like them two niggas. That's what y'all sound like.
Yeah, I told Patrick he needs to get on that. That's that's basically what it is right now.
I finished watching that 2 weeks ago. Bakuman, that joint crazy. That joint some heat. Having on the edge of my seat. Plus the premises and it's by the same people who wrote Death Note, right? So like this whole entire different series, and then the premises they come up with the stories that they make in the show, fucking fire.
Bro, that's how you know. That's how you know they're just like they got all kinds of content and ideas, because the fact that they put all of those ideas and basically turn them into real series within the series that they were writing was like nuts.
Some Inception type shit.
Niggas some dogs. They're different. The Death Note people did the writer Death Note. He a different man. What's good, Bo? How you week been, dog? What's up?
Yeah, it's been a good week, bro. Just chilling. Yeah, it's been a good week. I mean, as you guys all know, the elections are just crazy. So just watching what's going on and unfolding with that. In terms of anime, manga, I'm reading the same stuff that comes out weekly. One Piece, like Pat, JJK, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Phantom Seer, which is like a newer one in Jump, which I think everybody, if you read manga, should read. It's a real good manga so far. It's like, I think probably like 8 or 9 chapters now. But so far each chapter has been like amazing. I like the characters. I like the art. I like the premise of the world. So make sure y'all get into that Phantom Seer. In terms of anime, I'm also reading Solo Leveling, and God of High School. In terms of anime, I'm not really watching nothing except Haikyuu and JJK. And I started Akudama Drive, but I'm not sure if I'll finish it. That's about it though, but I'm good, man. Just happy to see it through another week. Happy to get to Friday.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta finish that, bro. That's not an option. I'm gonna be on your ass. You don't finish Akudama Drive, bro. I'm gonna be on your ass.
It's really like that, bro.
It's like that, bro.
I didn't even finish the second episode though, so
like that. First of all, the fact that what Period has, the abomination of Period that they've done with Black Clover and Boruto,
all right.
And then you like that's some garbage, right? Right? It's like that's some crazy wild garbage trash. But then you see what they do with Akudama Drive, and honestly, most of it it's not. A lot of it looks to be more 3D than 2D, and they did it such a good job with that animation.
It does, yeah.
I really like the transitions and stuff where they kind of like cut the scenes together.
Yes.
Yeah, that stuff is pretty dope. I'm just, I'm big into just like animation in general, so I can appreciate all of that stuff and like just how much it's eye candy. Like the entire series is eye candy. But I've been trying to tell people like Perot, they have a bad track record with like weekly series, stuff that just comes out every day, because the scheduling is so bad. Like, they just gotta crank an episode out every week, and they're working on two at the same time. They're working on Boruto and Black Clover, which are both weekly. Like, come on, man. Like, the quality gonna suffer somewhere. Trying to put that much pressure on them. So when they got their own, this is something that I think they came up with themselves. It's supposed to be an original anime. So you know, they pouring some resources into their own stuff at this point.
They should have been from the beginning because this animation and that's the one thing I want to talk about. Well, actually, no, it's one thing I want to talk about you, Yin, and in another episode, hopefully later this month, talk about anime and like art style, animation and like art style and stuff like that. Because also, I feel like if you, especially with that, one thing y'all watch, Monogatari. Don't watch it for the content, just watch it for the stylistic takes. That show got swag, like, and that's weird saying that, but Monogatari got swag, and it's like weird for me to say that. But the animation style is crazy.
Yeah, I've seen some clips from that show. It's pretty straight. It's pretty dope.
It's different. Like it's really gives me like watching it. Like I've always loved animation and like different art styles and you know I love it when I watch a show or anime that really tries something different with the way that it does the animation. And that's Monogatari is like for right now for me, and I've seen other ones that are also really good, but Monogatari right now is like whenever I watch something that has like a big stylistic taste on things, my mind automatically goes back to that because everything about Monogatari is about style, like from surrounded on making stylistic choices. All right, but let's get into the interview. Let's get into the the real reason we are here. And the first question we got is, and so like we interviewed you guys before, so we're trying to try to steer. We're probably gonna try to steer a little close to the Blade Titans. When a God Punch, we do have questions for both, especially for our specific questions that Bo's gonna ask later. They're basically all God Punch because Blade Titans not out yet. But first question is, how has it been working on Chapter 3 for God Punch and Chapter 1 for Blade Titans, kind of at the same time?
Shoot. So technically it's not necessarily at the same time. I mean, like we kind of took a break because we were like, hey, let's try to get this next chapter of God Punch out. Because you know, streets needed something. And y'all ain't had none in some months. So
we was starving.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like, let's go ahead and try to get something out real quick. So that's why we kind of took a break from Blade Titans because I was like I got 14, 15 pages in, and I said, look, there's 30 something pages left to ink. We gonna need to put something out, like, because otherwise we're gonna be waiting until November to drop this thing, and we won't have nothing else. So, yeah, it's a lot because Blade Titans is a very detailed series. There's a lot going on with the backgrounds for that one, and the fact that there's so many pages of it is why it's taken so long. So, but God Punch was like a welcome change of pace because it was taking so long for to do the backgrounds and stuff for Blade Titans, and God Punch it was like, there's not nearly as much detail going on in the background. So, and it's a lot of fights. I had never gotten a chance to really get into drawing just pages of fight scenes. I have written them before, but I haven't ever gotten to the point where I actually illustrated them. So that was pretty. It's been cool. Like I've been looking at like One Punch Man artwork and stuff because there's plenty of fights to go off of and reference technique wise and stuff. So and I had just gotten off catching up on it. Like I'm waiting for the next chapter to come out, but yeah, I've been referencing that to kind of give me some ideas on how to illustrate the stuff that Pat's written for Sylvia's fight with Zhang Liu. So it's pretty dope. I'm enjoying it so far.
And I mean, I gotta say something about like talk about your backgrounds. I mean, your backgrounds are amazing, man. Like just like looking at what you've done, it's just been like crazy. Like every time you drop something, just the detail that you've put in the background and like how much is in there, just like for like the city and for everything else, I'm like blown away. Like, you need some assistance, dog.
Patrick's been saying that, man. I mean, we like when we get to that point, definitely will have some helping hands in terms of getting some stuff done, especially if we're going to be working on 2 series. You know, it'll definitely be nice to have somebody like doing some inking or some toning here and there, so I don't have to have 2 series on my shoulders at the same time. But I mean, like I said, we're trying to get to into a schedule where, you know, we got 1 chapter of each series out every 2 to 3 weeks. That's the plan, to get to that point.
You wow. You gonna end up like Togashi, you gonna end up like him. You end up with a bad back.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try. I mean, we at least want like one of either series per month. So like you get a God Punch chapter 1 month, and then Blade Titans chapter the next month. So there'll be like, it's not gonna take an entire month to finish a chapter, but like I said, it'd be probably like every 3 weeks is the plan. But of course, there are a bunch of chapters of God Punch already written. We still have to write the chapters for Blade Titans. So
we know God Punch. Pat got them shits in like the 40s already.
Nah, we're in the 50s
dude,
now.
He in the 50s now. Yeah,
50s now.
This nigga just be writing.
Exactly.
I got to, bro. A studio put in that call today, man. I gotta let them know we got some shit in the tank. Stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready.
That's tough. Talk a little more about that. What studio?
The Black Anime exclusive. What you got? You ain't signed no NDAs yet. You ain't signed no NDAs yet.
Talk a little more about that.
Yeah, bro. I just keep them cranking out, man. I think about the story all the time. So because I think about it all the time as a writer, I'm like, okay, the story ain't gonna get out, you know what I'm saying, unless I sit down and put it on paper, you know. So
that's real.
So I'm always grinding, I'm always working. Since I started my new job, you know, so I'm working from home, so I'm trying to get, you know, adjusted to that. But like once I get used to this, you know what I'm saying, like I'm back in the lab cranking it out. I want to say I got like 52 chapters written. Yeah, I think I got like 52 chapters written. So we're just gonna keep on going.
Word.
Actually, since you said that, Bo was going to ask this question next, but since you already kind of opened the door into the you know, little rabbit hole. So seeing that, you know, God Punch is now trademarked, you know what I mean, y'all, you know what I mean, God Punch, you know what I mean, it's no longer God Punch, it's God Punch with like the little sign next to it, little symbol next to it, little R. Seeing as is that, like, what are your future business ideas for the brand? What's next? What's next for God Punch? You know, besides just being the Webtoon.
Like I said earlier, man, we're actually working on this this interview style documentary that we're trying to drop. I think we want to try and get that out maybe around like mid-January. We got some stuff that we can't talk about. You know, yeah, we got some exclusive stuff we have to talk about maybe off air. But we working on a YouTube channel as well, man. So we getting a YouTube channel together. The team, they was just talking yesterday about wanting to open some stores for the clothing line. So I know that's like further, a couple years down, you know. But just stuff like that, man. But so far, the only thing that I'm really putting all of my energy into is just this documentary that we doing, man. We're on like 3 or 4 conference calls a week, trying to make sure we got everything together.
That's dope.
That's tough, bro.
The world behind God Punch. That's crazy.
Man, we trying, bro. Like we, what I'm saying, at this point, it's more than a manga, it's more than a webtoon, it's a brand. So, we trying to touch every avenue we can and keep our hand in every pot.
That's 100. I mean, that's real though. I mean, we was talking to like speaking to like our interview with Adorn by Chi, which is really 2 weeks ago. I think this is like the next episode, like in
I think 2 weeks
in
ago.
The series. Yeah, it's Adorn by Chi itself is like it's way more than just a manga. Like what they doing, what Jackie's doing and her team and all that is doing is big shit. Especially like with them teaming up with Hello Kitty. Like that's big.
Yeah.
Like that's big. Like iconic. Like
and
go ahead.
Oh no, I guess it's funny, we talk about the brand. Somebody was bringing up somebody brought up Drake on the timeline the other day, and they're like, eventually we got to give Drake his flowers because he followed the Jay-Z formula, to the T, as far as how biggest success is. So I started thinking like, okay, if I'm trying to brand a manga, like how can I get that success? Like whose blueprint can I follow? I already have my inspirations, as far as a mangaka, but it's aside from that, as far as growing my brain is concerned, like how can I become global like Dragon Ball Z or like Sailor Moon or like Naruto? What did Toei do, with some of these franchises to get them to become household names and transcend anime and to become pop culture, So I think that's why, we decided, okay, we're going to be more than a manga, we finna get everything out there, we're going to get the clothes out there, we're going to get the videos, the documentaries, we might have some live action skits, who knows, but the goal is to become global, like I told you before, I want God Punch to be a household name.
That's good ass energy. I mean, just think about it. I mean, like, I honestly, you don't think about that kind of stuff until, I guess. I mean, some people think about it from like that's the goal from the beginning, but like you don't like until you see your own potential. You know what I'm saying? And then like you're like, wow, like this could really be big. And like I talking to Jackie about it, like Jackie, she was telling us she was basically just kind of like when she started Adorned by Chi, it was just her way of she was dealing with her own issues, and she was like, I'm just gonna start writing. And then she started writing, and next thing you know, she low key a global brand herself already. You know what I'm saying? And like you never know where you're gonna end up. You know what I mean? You start somewhere, you never know where you're gonna end up. And so, yeah, that's just dope. That's super dope.
Yeah, bro, that is real dope. I think it's important that what you said about like Drake following your formula and then like you trying to like think about it in the same way. I think that's a good way to approach that type of like the problem you're trying to solve essentially of like how to make your brand become a household thing, right? And pulling from these other successes and then tweaking these formulas to make it work for you. I think that's something that people overlook, I think, sometimes, and they just they have a brand and they're just like, I'm gonna just pour into it, and then they're not methodical about approaching how they want to scale it, if that makes sense. So I think it's dope to hear you think about it in that way.
All right, Bo, you got the next question?
Yeah. So next question we had was, how would you describe Blade Titans? I guess for Pat and Yen, just talking about the series. And I also had a specific question about Blade Titans that I was gonna ask while you guys were talking about like, the detail and stuff, Yen. So I'll just ask this now with it. So with Blade Titans, you guys released the first four pages kind of. In the world and the technology in it kind of looked reminiscent of Dragon Ball Z. And I was just wondering if that was an inspiration for the setting.
Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean I can kind of see where you could get that thinking about it. But honestly, my biggest inspiration for just the world of Blade Titans and stuff is a lot of is not just exclusive to manga.
Okay.
But just like the cyberpunk genre in general.
Yeah, it did give that feel.
Yeah, I really enjoy that entire genre. Like not even just movie wise or TV shows and stuff. I mean, I love stuff like Altered Carbon and Blade Runner and things like that.
I was just about to say it gave me Blade Runner vibe. That's what exactly popped in my head.
Yeah. I enjoy the world building that those kinds of franchises have,
Nice.
And I wanted to since this story takes place so far in the future, I wanted it to kind of have some of that, world building where it can feel familiar, but at the same time, you see all of these technological advances, and we haven't really seen them much yet, because the area that the first chapter takes place in is at the bottom level, which is like built upon the old Japan. So a lot of that is technology that's been around for a while, and people are just living off of that down there. Everything else that is technologically advanced is built on top. So,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think if I had to give like some examples of some series that have really big kind of cyberpunk-ish feels to them in terms of like manga, maybe like what's the name of that series? Well, All You Need Is Kill kind of has some cyberpunk-esque feel to it. That's what whatchamacallit, what's that movie with Tom Cruise? I just watched it.
Oh, you're talking about the one where he dies and comes back to life?
Yeah.
One.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like, not necessarily. I mean, that was kind of like a modernized version of that story, But I just really wanted Japan to feel like this is feasible, like this. It's not too far out there, but at the same time, there are these, it is 300 years in the future. There are going to be technological advances, but I wanted it to feel familiar at first, so it doesn't feel foreign. I wanted to still be Japan, and still have like the culture, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that makes sense.
I kind of pull from a lot of different stuff. Like I try not to stay just with manga and stuff with my references, because I feel that kind of keeps my creativity a little too narrow.
Okay. Yeah.
So I try to branch out. I'll look at television, look at movies, look at just any kind of entertainment, and not even just and artwork in general. Because there's a lot of artists that do specifically in terms of like concept art for video games and things like that. Big city landscapes and stuff. I like to look at that kind of stuff and be like, okay, how could I create something that on that large of a scale, and still make it look like this is the city where it takes place,
So with that, so how would you describe Blade Titans? Like, would you say is Blade Titans a cyberpunk story? Like, what?
It is kind of, it is. It's a cyberpunk-esque story. I mean, I don't want to like describe the twist, or not necessarily the twist, but the actual genre that the story is. Because I feel like it'll spoil the first chapter a little bit.
Okay.
But it is like the world itself is very cyberpunk. It's a kind of a dystopian universe, or a version of Earth. So there have been like overpopulation, like I described in the first couple of pages in the prologue, and stuff like that. So a lot of mega cities like Neo Tokyo are built everywhere, and a lot of the old culture is stuck at the bottom of those cities. The lowest class of people, if that's what you want to call it, are the ones keeping that kind of culture alive. And even then, it's still kind of dying out. Like there's the whole thing with the swords. Like it's 300 years in the future. What use would anyone have for a sword? Right? Like there's a reason that she's going to the pawn shop to pawn off her family heirloom or whatever, and learns that there's more to it behind that. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's useless. So I think that's probably the best way I can describe it without getting too spoilery.
Right.
I do love a spoiler though.
I mean, we might be able to talk a little like off the air. Yeah, we might be able to talk a little bit about it. But on the air, I don't want to give away too much about the story because it is long, and like I think I was doing some on stream and I only showed up until I think page 34 or 35 because after that is where it's like, oh, this is what the series is really about, So I don't want people to get. I want people to have their own ideas and then go in kind of blind. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Okay, understandable. I just can't wait. You got me excited, man.
I'm excited, man. I've been working on that thing for how many months now? It's like I need it to be out. I look at the sketches all the time. I'm like, I cannot wait until people are ready, are able to read this, because they're just sitting there right now. So
but yeah, the next question again.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a turn from Blade Titans and God Punch, but are there any more stories that you both want to work on, like as a team, I guess, to release along with those two?
Patrick, I think you got.
Yeah, I've been entertaining the idea of a gangster / delinquent series.
Talk more.
Man, it's just a thought, you know what I'm saying? But of course, my right hand is always itching. So after after we wrap up God Punch, after we handle business with Blade Titans as well, I've been thinking about this series that I want to do. I think the name I want to call it was Baby Gangster. It's just kind of like a rise to greatness story. I really haven't fleshed it out too much, but so far I just know I want it to be about this kid. His dad was involved in the mafia. He gets killed, and he kind of grows up in the gang life, and he's trying to get in. He's trying to be taken serious, and eventually he's thrown into it. And it's just a rise from how he becomes one of the little runners to the boss of all this shit. And so
okay,
yeah.
So are we talking like shonen, or are we talking?
I haven't thought about that.
Because I mean, you know me, I watch every type. That gave me like at least three different genres.
Right? Yeah. I like I said, I really haven't thought too deep into it. I've been playing with the idea, but I honestly I haven't just really put too much emphasis into the idea. One serious idea I have entertained was having the MC of any series I do after God Punch be like a different version of Percy. So that is one idea that I do kind of want to go with. And I guess you'd call it like a multiverse, but it'd just be different iterations of Percy, being the MC and him doing different things.
That's almost like what I was going to say Fairy Tales creator is doing with his series.
Yeah.
The star casting, where he takes the same characters and puts them in a different storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's dope.
And the man got 2 anime off it, so it's not a bad idea.
Right.
That's a good idea though. I didn't even think again, that gives me a lot of ideas for that series. I try not to be the theory guy, you know what I mean? We're not Project Manga or anime lately over here, but I try not to be the theory guy, but I love hearing a good premise, and that's a dope premise. I thought of it could be a comedy series, it could be a serious seinen, and then also could be like a shonen.
Mm-hmm.
Could be, it could still be a shonen in the comedy, but now if you can go the seinen route, it gotta stay seinen.
Yeah.
Gotta stay seinen. You go seinen. Honestly, we on I'm not sure if you answered this question. I want to go back to Yin, kind of talk about one more. We got one more question specifically for Blade Titans, and we want to say like, what are the? You probably kind of answer this. But what are like the influence of Blade Titans, whether personal or even anime or manga, cartoon, all that.
Okay, so the story on how I even came up with the idea is actually kind of funny. Well, not funny, but it's like it was so simple, such a simple idea that just popped into my head. So I think I still even have the notes. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone real quick. Because I came up with the idea for Blade Titans last year when me and right before me and Patrick went to Anime Monastery here in Houston, and I pitched the idea to him the day after I came up with it, because I came up with it overnight. So let's see. Well, shoot, I can't. Okay, so I can tell you some of it, because if I give you the whole premise, it's, like I said, it's probably gonna spoil some of the first chapter. But basically, it was like the original idea was, okay, what if? Because I always wanted to do something with swords. You know, like I don't have any.
I do love swords.
Yeah, I love swords. I love any kind of like sword fighting, and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, what if a sword was like something else? Like it wasn't just a sword. Like you could use it to do something else with it. And like the legendary swords from like Masamune's swords and Muramasa, who were rivals at the time, even though they weren't really rivals, because this is like there's like a 200-year difference between the two. But in mythology, they were rivals against each other. And they were, swordsmiths. And I was like, okay, so what if those swords were like ancient keys or something like that? Like you could use them for something else. And so at first I played with the idea of it was like not just Japanese swords, but it was just swords in general. But it didn't really work with what I came up with afterwards. And so I strictly kind of went, okay, we're just going to use the Muramasa blades. Not Muramasa, Masamune. We're just going to use those and his rival's blades. We're going to have like, okay, he was the first person to kind of figure out that his blades could be used for something else. And then his rival, 200 years later, finds his research and does the same thing. But his swords are like evil, So I pitched this idea to Patrick at the con, I think, while we were just walking outside, I think.
We were upstairs on the second floor looking for food and a place to charge my phone.
Right.
Yeah, I remember this specific.
And the conversation specific. Yeah. And then the conversation just kept going until we walked outside to go find something to eat too. So,
and then that's where we got approached by the creepy dude trying to give us hentai passes.
Right. Right.
Like, he's just like, I'm sorry to get off track, dog, but I can't forget about this shit. Like,
that was funny.
We was getting like milk tea, and I was waiting on the Yende to get this shit. I'm just sitting down, like this creepy white dude with a robe walked up, like, "Hey man,
with a robe?
Yeah, he had he like a trench coat, bro. He like, hey man, you want to go to Hentai Fest?" And I'm like, "Shit, you got an extra pass for my bro?" He's like, "No, it's only one." "Oh shit, I ain't going with you, nigga."
Wait, this sounds like the first episode of the anime. What is this?
This was my origin story.
Nah, for real. Like, that's how the story kicking off. All right, I'm intrigued. I'll see episode 2.
Yeah,
that's how I got the power of hentai on my side.
There you go. But yeah, so that's kind of how the idea just popped into my head overnight, and I was like, okay, what if the swords were keys to something else? And I was like, let me flesh this idea out, because when I get in my writing bag, I'm like Patrick, I have to stay up for hours and work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love using the notes app on my phone, so I literally was up in my bed just writing for about 3 hours, and adding a bunch of lore, doing research, going on like Googling the swords and Masamune himself and stuff like that, so I could come up with a backstory. And then I was like, okay. Originally, I wanted it to fit in my the universe for my other series, but I was like, nah, it doesn't really make sense, because I can't go into that because there's some spoilers for my own personal series. This is like, because I don't think we've really talked about Black Lotus. I mean, me and Patrick talk about it all the time, because that's like the series that I'm going to really do down the line. It was either that or Blade Titans, and I wanted to write a series with Patrick, so that's why I chose Blade Titans over Black Lotus. But so it's in a standalone universe. You know, this is not connected to any other story. But yeah, I was just like, okay, so this has to take place in the future. You know, like people have basically forgotten about the swords. They've forgotten about culture and stuff behind the Japanese swords. Even though at one point, like currently, those swords are, you know, worth millions of dollars. And if you find one, the Japanese government is like, please give it to us so we can like put it in our museum. Because they're just that rare. There's only, I don't know, like a handful of them in the world. And so I played off of that. I was like, okay, some of them went missing around World War II when Japan had to surrender all their weapons. And you know, like I think one of them, the most famous one, was in transit to the U.S. So there's one that went missing in transit to the U.S. That, not the most famous one, but it's pretty up there. It got like sank at sea or something like that. Like the boat that was carrying it sank, and so it's in the ocean somewhere. But the most famous one went back to the U.S. and then it was lost in the U.S. They even had a museum. What is it? Not the Lyndon B. Johnson. Maybe it is the LBJ Museum. Was like had a big sword display and it got robbed. So there's like there was so much content for me to like pull from that actually happened in history. And I was like, oh, this could be like a super dope story. So yeah, I pitched it to Patrick and then just kept fleshing it out. And then when the Shonen Jump contest came up, we were like, yeah, I want to do Blade Titans and to get something like fresh in there. I had a really good feeling about it. Of course, that didn't work out because we decided to write to the max amount of pages that you could submit. And you know, it was taking longer than we thought to get through it because there was just so much going on. But I'm happy that we did that because it made us work on something else besides God Punch, and it kind of gave us another avenue to gain fans. So now we're gonna have 2 series instead of just 1. So it's pretty dope. Like I said, I'm excited for everybody to read it. It's a lot.
I think it's also good sometimes to just take a break from what you're writing and write something different. You know what I mean? Just take that. Yep. Then you go back and look at what you wrote and you be like, 1 second, I actually don't like this. And then you end up rewriting it. Right. I actually don't like this. Yeah, that's the craziest story to hear just now from everything. I mean, I'm in this other group with I'm in a Discord with writers and everything like that, and we were talking about, you know, everybody has a different writing process, and everybody, you know, comes up with ideas differently. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to like see how people come up with ideas. You know what I mean? And one person I was talking to, she said that she can't start with just an idea. Like she needs the characters. She needs like all that kind of stuff, and then she kind of builds the idea around the characters, and you know, vice versa. So right. I'm on the other side. I can start out with an idea. I can start out with like, I wrote a short story because I looked at a cloud. So like it's like so it's like the other way around. But it's just interested in hearing how you came up with that, and you know, I mean, how grounded the world is, kind of like the real life. I think those are always kind of some of the most fascinating stories. Ones where it's like, wow, like it's not like it could have happened, but like it's like it becomes where it's no longer like a fantasy world, more than like a what's the word, like a parallel world. Yeah, like a possible future type thing.
Yeah, that's a lot. I like to write my series that way, that are kind of a little bit more grounded in reality. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Patrick is kind of the same way, because I can feel that in the way he writes, that he likes to have some sort of groundedness to his series, even though there is, you know, all these fantastical elements. But it needs to feel familiar, you know, so the readers can kind of, I feel like they can relate better when they feel like, oh, I could even see myself being in this universe, you know. And I don't know. I think it's, for me, it's partially because when I was growing up, I liked science and history and stuff like that. And so I like to have historical references or play around with, historical stories and myths and stuff about and just things that take place on Earth or stories that have taken place on Earth in the past, and kind of be like, how could I, use that and make a story out of it, or even like real world places. So for an example, jumping over to Black Lotus, I have the city that the story would take place in is not a real city, but it's based off of like a Chicago. And one of the places that they go to first in the series, they travel across to like Europe or something, or Africa. They go to Africa, and it's a place in. No, actually, I said that wrong. They do go to Europe, and it's Monaco. They travel to a place in Monaco because there's a wealthy like tech billionaire that lives over there. Throughout the story, and then another jumping ahead in the story, they there's a specific area that takes place in the Gobi Desert in China. So like, I like to use the environments that actually exist and put fantastical elements to them. You know what I'm saying? So
I get you. That's fine. That gets me even more excited. I kind of want one more question. One more question I got, then Bo got the last one. Is what are the dreams you have for God Punch and Blade Times? We already kind of know God Punch, all right? Pat makes sure we know. Pat makes sure we know you go with God Punch. But for Blade tie-ins, like how do you want that to kind of affect the culture?
I think so. Okay, so the genre that it's in that we can't talk about is very like, I feel like there's not a whole lot of I think there's kind of a stigma behind that particular genre. And there are like no Black people in that genre. Well, that's not true. There's a few. There's a handful. Like, you can count on one hand out of probably every series out there. And there's also not a whole lot of, main characters in that genre that are female. So we were like, okay, let's just have a character that fulfills those two kind of requirements that are lacking in this genre, and then do something different with like the swords. That's something that's I don't really think it's been done before. There's a couple of series that do it similarly, have a similar concept, but overall it's completely original. Like, it's something that I think is lacking in that particular genre. Like, there's a lack of originality in terms of the main focus for that genre. Everything else, the environment and stuff may have some originality, but the main focus for it is kind of like, okay, they may look different, or have similar see, I can't even talk about it that deep without getting spoilers. I can't even talk about it.
It's kind of bringing up a question. I have a question, but I don't want to ask it because I'm pretty sure you won't answer it. But
if it's the question that I think you're gonna ask, I can answer it offline, but I can't answer it on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's reminding me of a conversation we had during our first interview. So, which is why I'm saying it, because you talked about a genre you really wanted to write in for the similar reasons,
right?
So,
and a lot of people don't remember that, so I don't want to bring it up.
Niggas gonna be going listening to our old interviews.
Hey, I mean, y'all want to find out what year's gonna go back listen to the first God Punch interview. You might catch a little spoiler.
Yeah, y'all the best.
But you know what? I mean, again, if it's what I think it is, I mean, I feel like it's necessary. I mean, because this is something I've talked about a few times. One, I feel like storytelling in some avenues is kind of stale. You know what I mean? And we haven't really like, okay, I'll speak about a genre I love. Everybody knows I love, space. I love space. I love ones that take place in space, and ones that not only take place in space, but I love space bounty hunters. Kyle Bebop.
Oh yeah.
Space Dandy. Outlaw Star. I love space, but then I also love stuff like we have mysteries like Astro Lost in Space, and then we have stuff like Trigun, like all these things that really have that are different level of storytelling than what we get today. You know what I'm saying? And in a genre again, I'm thinking. I think it's definitely like it's needed. We need a revitalization. We need to be able to flex what has made modern anime so popular, but also give respect to what made what paved the way in a way. Like older anime was written narratively much differently than it is now, but that style can still be popular today. You just have to be able to flex and figure it out. So.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like, and speaking of like, we were talking about Terror and Resonance earlier. Watanabe is famous for his narratives, his story narratives. Like everything that he writes is unique. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't go out and be like, okay, there's another series just like this, narratively, or even sometimes even concept wise. Like he's done. He did Cowboy Bebop. He did Samurai Champloo. He did. All those kinds of series. So those stand out in the culture of anime amongst other series that may even be in the same genre, but they don't necessarily do it as well. So I feel like that's kind of what me and Pat want to be in terms of what our stories will eventually become in the culture. So.
Well, so think about this. Remember this. So would you? And I already know Pat's gonna say. I know Pat would want. Would you want the? What's how do I want to say it? The worldwide fame of Dragon Ball, or kind of, and this is you understand, but kind of more like the subtle iconicism of Cowboy Bebop. If you get what I'm saying, they're two very different series, both worldwide famous, but treated very differently.
Patrick, I'm gonna let you answer that first.
We already know what Pat wants. Pat.
I want the Macy's floats, nigga. Hell yeah.
This man want the Macy's floats. This man want the video game every 2 years. I know what this nigga want.
Thanks.
So
personally, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I want the fame of a series like, any of the big three, or even like a Dragon Ball Z or something like that. Definitely what I'm aiming for. I want it to be like almost like a household name. I mean, not to say that Samurai Champloo is not necessarily a household name, but it's not a Dragon Ball Z in terms of the fame scale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely a classic, but it's not like a worldwide phenomenon, if you know what I'm saying. So I definitely want that. I want both. I want a little bit of both. I want some balance. I want people to be like, this is a classic, but at the same time, like, it's not overrated. It's not, it can't fit in the conversation of, oh, you like that kind of anime, or you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you watch, like, okay, I understand that it came out, around whenever this time, and it paved the way for all this stuff. But like nowadays, you'd be like, okay, it's just all right. Like I want the quality to stay the same, like down the line.
Understandable. That's a better way to say it. I couldn't think of the word classic at the time, because I mean, would you? This is an open-ended question, because I personally wouldn't. But would you say that Dragon Ball is a classic, or would you just say that?
Absolutely.
I think it is. I don't think it's a classic in the same way that some other series are classics. Like you can define classic in different ways. I think its impact is what made it classic, and a lot of what it was the first to do over here in the West is definitely classic. I think some other series, like if we were talking about a Samurai Champloo or something, are classic for different reasons. You know, like, and maybe for some of the same reasons at the same time. I mean, like Dragon Ball Z. Would you consider Dragon Ball Z like a cultural reset, or like a really defining moment in the culture? I think I would.
Well, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And it's kind of stayed that way, but I think Samurai Champloo was so different when it came out. Like, and a Cowboy Bebop is different. I think, I don't know. Like when I think of classic, and I can use them in the same way for like a Cowboy Bebop versus a Dragon Ball Z, but I don't see them the same way classically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard. I feel like it's hard for me to describe what the difference would be between those two in terms of why each one would be considered a classic.
I think personally, I would consider Dragon Ball as iconic. And well, I guess again, it's all about definitions. But I would, as iconic, seeing as how its inspiration and its impact has, changed the anime game forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And while I would think more of Cowboy Bebop, Champloo, Trigun, Catching as classics, just because they're anime that definitely has added an impact. They definitely helped with the with getting anime over to the Western, hemisphere and all stuff like that. But narratively and storytelling wise, we don't see many of those. We don't really see it as something that had a reverberating impact throughout the anime community necessarily when it comes to making newer stories and making newer shows, something like that. And I mean, in manga, it might be, I don't really like manga, so people could be like, "Oh nah, man, it's hella manga that is same narratively." But I mean, just from what's popular, we don't really see that as much. While Dragon Ball, its iconic impact is undeniable,
right?
Is undeniable. So that's my thinking, but everybody's definitely got different thoughts around it. But you got the last general question?
Yes, sir. So lastly, before we get into the specifics, we wanted to know, what are the next steps for your guys' Webtoon manga? Are you going to keep releasing it through Webtoon, or are you guys using the line Webtoon for God Punch? Is that the plan for Blade of Titan, or are you guys trying to get into a magazine, or I guess just what's the plan, the thought process for that?
Well, I mean, personally, right now, we're trying to just stick with Webtoon and just keep doing what we're doing. But
nice.
We have had some certain parties express interest in, Blade Titans right now, just off of some stuff that we posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
So if we do end up in a magazine, like, I think we're at the point where we're fine being independent, but at the same time, like if something comes up and we're like, yeah, we would do that, why not? Like, we're open to anything at this point. We're just, right now we're more so focused on just getting the content out and building our fan base.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if for some reason somebody wants to pick us up, put us in a magazine or something like that, and we like the benefits that gives us, definitely. I mean, me and Pat talked about that, or have been talking about that for the past month and a half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Word. That's what's up.
I'm glad we be tapping into your conversations. You know what I mean? We're not there, but we be there though.
So I'm going to get into the specific questions. So these specific questions are going to pertain to God Punch Chapter 2. For those who don't know, the last interview we had, we talked about God Punch Chapter 1. So talk about God Punch Chapter 2, which I believe dropped in April of this year, right?
Like March, I think like March or April.
Okay, yeah. So, during that, when the quarantine season was still fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I don't really have that many questions, but the first one. So at the end, Dr. Bane comes in the mix. It says Dr. Sylvia Bane, member of the Legion, rank Banshee, retired. First question is: does the retired pertain to her rank or her membership with Legion?
It pertains to her rank.
Her rank. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next question is: so then I'm assuming then the rank Banshee pertains to Legion itself, right? Or
she's affiliated with the Legion, but the term Banshee, it goes into, and I guess I'll go ahead and give like a little spoiler. It goes into the kingdoms of the spirit world. Cause I already talked about Percy, trying to get the spirit world or whatever.
yeah,
But essentially, I've written a couple kingdoms in the God Punch, and so each kingdom has its own Banshee. And so the Banshee is, each king has his own Banshee, and the Banshee, they're an all-female fighting force inspired by the Dora Milaje from Black Panther. So Sylvia, she was, a member of them, and now she's retired. But just because she's retired, she still has ties to the Legion. But the kingdoms and the Legion, they're entirely separate. It's a lot going on, in the God Punch verse right now.
Got you. So then, how many ranks are there? All right, so like, are there different ranks within the kingdoms, right? Or
yeah, you got different ranks within the kingdoms, but
okay.
the Banshee are known as bringers of death, and so they kind of like the kings, like I guess you could say left or right hand man. They answer to him and him only.
So the Banshees only answer to the kings.
They only answer to the kings.
Okay, so Banshee is a position ranking as well as a power ranking.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, yes, that's exactly like Black Panther.
That makes sense. So then,
yeah, that's kind of dope though. That's dope. I mess with it.
Next, so based on Zhang Liu's, is that how you say it?
Zhang Liu.
Zhang Liu's dialogue. Percy, like, they're imitating some voices and then they're saying some things related to Percy's parents. So Percy does know his parents. It's not like a Naruto thing where he was like raised, he doesn't know his parents, right?
Percy's mother. What were you saying?
Wait, say it again.
Oh no, Percy's mother is dead. His mother's dead.
His mother's dead, right? But like prior to her death, like it wasn't like she died before he like formed a relationship with her, right? Or
she died on the birthing table.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Dang. Okay, cool.
Yeah, she died. Yeah, she died during childbirth.
Got you. And so what about his pop? So does this person know his pop?
He does not.
He does not know his pop. Okay.
For reasons I cannot mention, his father had to disappear from his life.
Got you. Okay.
Hence the mysterious, taunts from.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. All right. So then the last question I got is, I know so when Dr. Bane comes in, she uses Dark Nebula. And I was wondering, like, what's the power? Does the power system have a name? Like, there's like Nen and stuff, chakra. Like, is there a name for the type of move she used, or like, what's the basis behind that?
So the name of our power system is called Anima.
Okay.
And it's essentially using the power of the soul.
Okay.
So it's energy that's formed, controlled by the soul. I even go a little further to break it down into this system called Dharma. And so Dharma is broken down into the different senses: sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. And so sight is E, smell is Ni, hearing is Meta, taste is Via, and touch is Tano. And so it goes, I try to break it down, as much as I can to explain it a little better, as the series goes on. But yeah, so you have Anima, and then when you break it down more into the senses a person, can manipulate, it's called Dharma, and then you have, 5 different versions, for each of your senses.
Dang, that sounds like it's complex. All right, that's what's up.
Nen inspired. Shout out to Togashi.
That's what's up. Dang, man. Those are all the specific questions I had. Chapter 2 was fire, so just waiting for chapter 3. The first chapter of Blade Titan. But that's all I got.
All right, so that's all the questions we have for y'all this time. You already know I said before we was gonna have y'all on again. We got y'all on now. Hopefully next time I'm trying to do this. When COVID over and shit. Trying to have this in person. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to go ahead and I got an idea. I kind of said that already. I got an idea for a video series that I kind of want to start on the pod sooner or later. You know what I mean? Definitely gonna pour up. We're gonna pour some drinks. We gonna talk some shit. That's the next time y'all gonna be on. All right, y'all. I'm letting y'all know. I keep for sure. Nigga, I will fly to Texas. I need a reason. Give me. I need a reason. I'll fly to Texas. We gonna pull up. We gonna call Bo on Discord. You know what I mean? Bo be busy. You know what I mean? So you gonna call Bo on the Discord. So, and we gonna be out there on the video series. That's the next time. That's my next playing time. That's not good for the year or so though. But by that time, we gonna have a lot to talk about, and we all gonna be a little lit, so it's gonna be fun. But that's all the questions we have today. We're gonna hop into news. Not that much news, surprisingly, even though we haven't been here for like 2 weeks. But it's not that much news this week. First things first, we have Promised Neverland anime new ad teases second season 2 footage. If you know our boy Evan, that man is ecstatic. He is can't wait for it to come out. Also, I'm excited for it too. I can't wait to see what's next for Promised Neverland, since apparently I'm the only one that hasn't read the manga. So I mean, Braxton hasn't either, so I'm not the loser on the pod. Yay. Let me stop. Next we have rapper Open Mike Eagle releases anime, trauma, and divorce album. Now I actually read this today, so I went ahead and gave it a listen. It's not bad. I kind of like it a little bit. It's not. I ain't gonna say it's the best album of the year. It's not close to that, but it's a good album. He did it. You know what I mean? He has a few songs in there that are inspired by anime, including one called Head Ass, Idiot Shinji, reference to Evangelion, whatever. And then he has a song called I'm a Joestar, Black Power Fantasy, in reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He also spoke to Funimation about it, and he discussed his background as a Black anime fan and shared some of the thoughts that went into creating these songs. He went on to say, I felt this undeniable connection between specifically the Black American ghetto, and I wish there was a better word for it, he said. There's something with marginalized people in high-pressure situations. There's something about shonen anime that really resonates in those communities. So he's spitting though. He's talking that shit.
Yeah, he's spitting though.
So so it's an album that's come out. It's his 5th studio album. Like I said, it's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it downloading. You can get on pretty sure Spotify. I listen to the Apple Music and all that. So definitely something to check out. Next up, PlayStation 5 to launch with no in-store sales. So Sony announced on Thursday that launch day sales for the PlayStation 5 will only be available online through retailer websites. The announcement noted that Sony made a decision for the safety of gamers, retailers, and the staff safe amidst COVID-19. The statement also confirmed that no units will be available for in-store purchase on launch day. So if you was looking to buy it on launch day, you're shit out of luck. And we don't know when they're gonna be in store. So it's an L for you, buddy. I'm not buying mine until February, so I'm chilling. But
I'm picking mine up next week.
I'm weak.
Man, fuck PlayStation. Anyway, next year, My Hero Academia Demon Slayer rank on New York Times November graphic books bestseller list. The 25th volume of My Hero Academia ranked at number 3. The first volume ranked at number 8, and the second volume ranked at number 9. The first volume of Demon Slayer has ranked at number 15, and that's crazy though. You know what I mean? I remember talking to somebody about this, and I was trying. Somebody on the timeline, somebody who made weird enough. Let me not shade. But all I'm saying is, manga is it's crazy how worldwide it is. and how in a lot of ways it outsells American comic books and stuff like that. So crazy. Next up, Beastars Anime Season 2's promo video announces its January 5th premiere. Usually I wouldn't talk about this early, but I love Beastars. Can't wait for the second season to come out. Interested to see what they do. Plus, we still got Studio Orange doing the animation, so we know it's going to be hard. Can't wait to see what happens. Next, we have Real Steam Engine gets a Mugen Train makeover. As what's the word? As publicity for the Demon Slayer movie. I think it's kind of cool though. I wouldn't go on that train. You know what I mean? I heard what happens at the end of that arc. I ain't say it. I don't feel like it's safe. I don't feel like it's safe. You know what I mean? They trying to go one to one. It's gonna be crazy. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Something else that's pretty cool that happened. Where is it? There you go. Prime Minister Suga quotes Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, and the National Diet. I'm probably saying that wrong, whatever. I'm American. All right, I'm using that as an excuse. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshida Suga quoted the popular Demon Slayer series at House of Representatives Budget Committee in a National Diet on Monday, according to Asahi Shimbun report. Suga said, "I will respond with total concentration breathing," in reply to a question from the opposition party. A viral clip has also been circulating on Twitter, capturing the moment he uttered the line. This is hilarious. Okay. Japan is a lot of things. All right. I gotta say, Japan is a lot of things. I'm not gonna get into politics and all that shit because that's not my business. But them niggas have a lot of fun. I can't even cap them. We can't. There are people in Australia trying to say that anime was porn, and then there was people in America trying to say that anime is bad for kids. And in Japan, they quoting that shit in the middle of a speech in the middle of the House of Representatives. Different breed. I mean, I'm like, imagine like Ted Cruz talking about SpongeBob. Like, come on now, that shit would never happen. Like, come on now, that shit. But yeah, I think that's cool. It's pretty funny. Next, we have Bungo Stray Dogs. Juan anime confirms more returning cast. I just said this. I put this on here because it just reminds me that we're probably never going to get another season.
We need it.
Need that expeditiously.
But is it ever going to come?
Whenever Bones has so many outstanding seasons for other anime to do. Like they're working on My Hero Academia right now. They ain't nothing else they working on.
That's that bread and butter. That's where that money coming in at.
No cap.
So they need to go ahead and do another season of Bungo, dog. I need more Bungo. That last season ended. It needs more.
Between that and between My Hero Academia and Mob Psycho, they got their hands full right now.
Mm-hmm. I heard we getting the Carolyn Tuesday manga too, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, that's coming out soon. I kind of want to read it, but then if it's just a 1-to-1 from the anime, I don't want it.
Yeah, I feel like but it's like continuation. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, if it has like more in there, I need some more. But also, I want the songs. I mean, I'm reading it's gonna be dope, but like I want bring my nigga Denzel Curry back. That nigga was spitting. That shit was hard. Oh my gosh. Next, we have Demon Slayer film. There's a lot of Demon Slayer news today. I didn't even notice. Demon Slayer film ranks as 10th all-time highest earning film in Japan.
Ooh.
Yeah, that film bringing in the bread over there.
The bread.
The big bucks.
I can't wait to hit the States.
In 10 months.
Right.
Yeah.
6 years. Haikyuu manga to the top 50 million copies. Oh shit, I said that totally wrong. Haikyuu manga to top 50 million copies in circulation.
That's nice.
Read Haikyuu. Read it. Watch it. Do both. Yeah, it's the GOAT. Anyway, Anime Japan event to be held in person and online in March 2021. The staff of Anime Japan event announced on Monday that the Anime Japan 2020 event will be held on March 27th through March 30th in a combination in-person and online event. The tagline for the event is "Everything about anime right here." The show's public days will be held on March 27th and March 28th at Tokyo's big site in the center's west and south halls. And I don't know if anybody listens from Japan, or somebody's trying to go to this, but I mean, you better hop on it. These tickets probably gonna be expensive, especially since only certain people can go during the day. So be expensive. Might have to watch this online, but sounds kind of dope. You know, sooner or later, con season will be back in 2025. So
we need it.
Okay.
Sure, you tell them I'm trying to get them press passes. Niggas gonna see me everywhere. I'm gonna be in every picture. Chainsaw Man manga enters final stage. So you know what I mean? People who's hype on the Chainsaw Man is ending soon. If it doesn't get picked up for an anime, I will, even though I feel like it will. If it doesn't, I will read it. If it does, I will not. Y'all know how I feel. I know how I feel about that. That shit, whenever I read the manga, it ruins the anime for me. I'm 100% serious. It ruins it for me. So next we have person in Fukuoka arrested on suspicion of selling pirated Demon Slayer anime DVDs. So NHK reported on Tuesday that a 40-year-old company employee in Fukuoka was arrested on suspicion of selling pirated DVDs of the television anime series on an online sales website. The suspect reportedly denied part of the charges, stating, "While I thought they were bad quality DVDs, I thought they were officially licensed products when I sold them." Police seized about 600 of the pirated DVDs being imported from Malaysia last month. Police are investigating whether 11.5 million yen, about $110,000 worth of deposits made to the suspect's bank account for 1 year until April are related to the sales of the pirated DVDs.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. And somebody says, according to the police, the suspect allegedly sold 3 DVDs to 2 women in Ibaraki. Oh my gosh. Ibaraki prefecture. You know, if I'm just gonna skip the word. Prefecture. I said it right. Fuck yeah. Any round march violated the Japanese Copyright Act. The website supposedly advertised the DVDs as pirated versions without commercials and were sold at a lower price than the official releases. So this he knew he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. Nigga lied straight to the cop face. The cop looked at him like, "Nigga, what? What?" I looked at the website now. Last news for today is Funimation app is going to be available on Xbox Series X and Series S at launch. I don't know if this is good news or bad news. Who the fuck uses the Funimation app? Just bootleg it. But so whatever y'all want to do. It says Funimation app will also be available on PlayStation 5 at launch November 12th. I've actually heard, I'm not a PlayStation man, but I've heard that PlayStation don't really be having all the streaming services on any shit like that. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm a
PlayStation man. I know you. I'm talking to you, bro. PlayStation man.
Bro, they have everything.
They do? Okay.
I have on my PS4, I got Netflix, I got Crunchyroll, I got Hulu, I got Funimation, I got HBO Max, I got the DC app. I got everything, dog. I got Amazon Prime. I got everything.
Okay, I don't know. I thought I read somewhere. You know what I mean? The PlayStation was behind, but you know what I mean? Maybe I was reading the wrong thing. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. Maybe I was reading the wrong shit. Anyway, that's all the news we have for today. Now we got last words. You know what I'm saying? Yin, you go first. My dog, what you got? The last words.
Well, shoot. God Punch Chapter 3 coming out in a couple weeks. That is the plan. So be on the lookout. And then right after that, we jumping right back into Blade Titan so I can get that out. Hopefully looking at like mid-December for that one. Because probably going to be traveling. Well, I mean, we got the holidays coming up, and then we got my sister's birthday is like first week of December, so we'll see. Might be on vacation somewhere. So that's why I'm saying mid-December. Get
in a panorama? In a panorama?
Oh, well, like a mini vacation, you know what I'm saying? Not like a big we going somewhere and just not wearing masks and doing stuff like that. So but my mom and my sister went to Mexico a month ago. What? And Mexico is doing so much better than the U.S. in terms of their handling of the pandemic. I mean, you have to wear. Well, depends on where you go, because they went to Tulum, and for some people, Americans, acting like they ain't no pandemic going on. So it just depends where you go. But our family be pretty diligent about being social distancing and wearing your mask and all that kind of stuff. So
okay, respect it. You got any slander for us today? Anything on slander?
Slander? Ooh.
I need some negative energy. It's been too positive.
Slander.
I'm weak.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think I really...
negativity.
I'm tired of bald head niggas wasting space in the barbershop.
Hey, yo, Mike.
Sensei.
Hey, Sensei.
This is for you, Mike.
Hey, y'all boys crazy, yo.
This is for Mike and Sensei. This is for y'all. Tired of bald head niggas.
I thrive off of negativity.
Niggas just got head chips falling all over the fucking barbershop.
Oh, man.
I stopped buying all the fucking do-rags, too.
That's comedy.
Yeah, what's your last words, Dad?
Oh, man. Not much to say, man. It's a blessing to be here amongst family again. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to have such a wonderful team, man. Team God Punch. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to, keep pushing the vision forward and, trying to see, what's the next move for us. It's just an honor, man. I'm happy to be here. Thank y'all for having us on, bro. We'll come on anytime y'all want, man. I'm just much love and many blessings to y'all, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Bo.
Yeah, I don't got much to say. Appreciate Pat and Yin for you guys, giving your time and attention to join, an episode for us on the podcast. Like Pat said, you guys are family. So I think we talked about it before, but we really have the best pocket, I think, of the anime community that exists out there on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, man, it's just great to have you guys on, have a good conversation. Make sure you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in again.
Appreciate it, bro.
For my last words, kind of want to echo what Bo said. I'm also, I didn't say it before, but y'all probably know now, because we have all the interviews we're doing have been spotlights. So, God Punch and Blade Time spotlights for the month. And so when God Punch drops, you'll be able to come on our site and check it out and see it under their spotlight tab. You'll see a little, description about them, and also the links to their site and all that, and to the Webtoon, to their Webtoon. And when Blade Titan drops, even if it's not this month, might be next month, you'll still be able to go to the site, go to the past spotlights, and you'll be able to click on them and see it. If we have Smite during December, that's still kind of up in the air, but low key. But I think 100% want to thank them both for real. Great men, and doing great things, and it's great to have them on. Always can't wait to do it again. Slander wise, I was talking to somebody on Twitter today about Space Dandy. I hate Space Dandy. I just gotta say that. I don't necessarily think it's bad. It's just not good to me. It's not funny. I fell asleep, and Bo knows I'm false.
Sub or dub?
I tried both, and I dislike both.
Because the dub.
Actually, no. Voice acting wise, I didn't have a problem with voice acting. I was just bored out of my mind, like out my skull. I was like, because everything means nothing, and so I was just like, and I got to like episode 7, and I fell asleep like twice. And Bo, no, I don't fall asleep. If I'm watching anime, I don't fall asleep. I'll be up.
Yeah.
And I was dozing off. I kept waking up and missing shit. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? But then I realized nothing matters, so it doesn't matter. There was about 3 episodes I fucked with, though. The rest of them, hell no, fuck that shit. But that's it for today. Thank y'all for listening. I'm about to be up all night. Maybe. I might get this on Sunday. Y'all might get this shit on Sunday. That's just a fact. But yeah, thank y'all for listening. Hit us up. I mean, listen to the outro. That's gonna start playing soon. It's already playing. I don't know, man.
This boy tired.
Bro, I'm hungry. But I'm trying to spend money though. I want to order some Chinese food.
No, that's good eats.
Bro, but DoorDash, the fees.
Boy,
the fees.
I'm gonna go pick it up.
That means I get gas, bro. I'm trying.
Oh, here we go. Bro eating sleep. Bro eating sleep for dinner.
All right, yo. Peace out. Say bye, my peoples. Yeah,
all right.
Pat.
Later, y'all.
I'm about to say, y'all niggas disrespectful. Come on, Pat.
Pat, where you at?
Pat. Mr. I need to tug on.
Peace. My bad. Peace.
Mr. I need to tug on. Get on a little bit. Rub my hands together. Mixtape Pat, nigga. Mixtape Pat.
I'm logging off.
What was it called? Wait. What was it? Talk me through it, volume 1.
Talk me through volume 1, baby.
Hey, I'm out.
Coming Christmas Day. Get your copy.
Hey everyone, it's Bruni, aka the Tiny Giant, aka the baddest speech on this podcast, here to thank you for listening to this episode of the Blxxk Anime Podcast. If you want to join the discussion with myself and the other hosts, connect with us on Twitter and Instagram at BLXXK Anime. Again, that's at BLXXK Anime. I also want to remind everyone to check out our Patreon. The link will be in the description. Depending on the tier you subscribe to, you'll gain access to exclusive pods with our monthly guests, the link to join Discord servers with other listeners and the Blxxk Anime hosts, and discounts for Blxxk Anime merch. Again, thank you for listening to the episode, and don't forget to look out for the next one.